What's up, everybody? This is Wall Street Colin. Man, I am excited to be back. It's been a while since I made my last video. So in this video, I kind of want to explain what's happening in the markets, what I see in the markets, and what I think is going to happen in the near future in the markets. Again, this is just my opinion. This is not financial advice. And everything I say, guys, you should do your own research. In the end, you want to be an independent thinker investor. So the whole point of my channel is to make you guys, cut your guys' financial learning curve from where I was at. It took me years before I learned all these skills and what I'm looking at. So I want to help you guys just become a little bit better at looking at the market and making your own opinions and testing your own strategies and stuff like that. So let's jump right into it, guys. We're looking at CoinMarketCap right now. We are seeing a down day in the crypto space. Bitcoin is back at 35,000. We're at $1.4 trillion in the crypto market. Few doing okay. Theta's up 4%. Polygon is up 3%. Monero is up 1.8%. So let's switch over to my other screen and let's get into the charts. So right now what we're looking at is Bitcoin price action, guys. So I'm going to go through the charts on the top 4 cryptocurrencies. Obviously, I'm not going to break down Tether, but I'm going to break down the top 4 cryptocurrencies because that really shows us the overall health of the market instead of just looking at Bitcoin. Even though Bitcoin runs the market, we still want to understand what the altcoins market is doing because we do have a few out there that even though Bitcoin is down, they're still up, right? So we want to pay attention to the altcoin market. Let's jump right into it. So I have some notes here that I want to touch. And usually I like to start on the bigger time frame so that way I can get an idea of what I'm looking at, right? A big picture before I go into the macro. So we saw a huge rejection off the 60,000 inside the monthly time frame, right? And then we also have and the RSI showing us it's below the 50. I use the RSI as a momentum indicator, right? So it's a leading indicator. Price action is my present moment, what's happening in the market. And then I also have volume showing me a confluence between price action and volume. Obviously, if there's no volume inside the markets, it's going to be a bad day for whatever cryptocurrency is having a low volume. So the MACD, I'm using it as a way to confirm price action and volume and really just another indicator that's going to help me put the pieces together, right? Because that's what we are inside the market. We're detectives. The more pieces that we can see can show us the bigger picture of what that cryptocurrency is going to do or stock, right? So we had a huge rejection. We had a spinning top on this candle right here, and then a huge rejection towards the downside, a bearish engulfing candle, and it broke the 37 support level that we had, and I think that it's going to continue to move down all the way up to 20,000 as far as BTC, right? Right now we have, if we go on the monthly time frame, we have volume about the same where it was at in 2017. So the volume is there. We're starting to see it come back down. I think that we can see a 20,000 price level for Bitcoin before it continues to move up, right? So, and the reason why I say this is, there's quite a different ones. The RSI momentum is below 50. It's at 44.54. MACD is bearish on the daily time frame, right? On the weekly time frame, it's not really bearish, but I can see it getting to the 20 price range before it continues its move back up. We're underneath the VWAP. That's a bearish outlook. Let's move over to the daily time frame where we're going to see a little more price action and a little more detail in what's happening in today's market. So I've seen this was the Wyckoff distribution. I made a video on this earlier, and I got out around 58,000. Right now, I've seen quite a few investors, quite a few people bring up the Wyckoff accumulation. Now, there are some similarities in that, and I'm keeping aware of that to see if it unfolds. But right now, I still think that we're gonna see a Bitcoin of 20,000. I don't think we're in the accumulation phase. I think we might even break below it. On the daily time frame, it's not looking too good. we're below the 100 MA, we're below the VWAP, the momentum is not there, the volume is not there, and we're on the bearish MACD, right? So if some of these indicators start to turn, or the price action starts to tell me that we are on the Wyckoff accumulation phase, then obviously this is a perfect time and a perfect opportunity to buy. But again, we don't want to get ahead of ourselves and start buying, because all these indicators are telling us the opposite, right? Once we have confirmation that this is the Wyckoff accumulation phase, then I would personally start to accumulate Bitcoin, and gonna see a continuation to the upside. Right now, I think that we'll see a continuation to the downside, right? I don't want to get into the really macro things of it. This is just if you're day trading, you want to know what's going on in the 4-hour time frame, the 1 hour, and the 30-minute. If you're doing day trading, right now we're talking about purely investing for the future of Bitcoin and the long term of it. So let's move over to ETH, right? And again, we're going to start on the monthly time frame so we can get a bigger picture on the time frame. We had a spinning top, huge rejection, right? This wick showing us that price was rejected and pushed all the way back down to 2,700 on the monthly time frame, right? Some of us really forget to look on the monthly time frame, the weekly time frame, and then we miss the biggest indicators on what's happening and what's going to happen in the future, right? Because this is a huge red flag, right? Price was strongly rejected. That wick showed us that price was strongly rejected off those price levels. We are not ready to see a 4,400 ETH right now. So we also are at the 50 on the monthly time frame. We're at the 50 RSI, right? So it's kind of neutral. If we see a RSI break downward, we can see Bitcoin or Ethereum start to break downward as well. As far as volume, we have a huge sell-off monthly time frame, but we are starting to see some decreased volume. So let's move over to the weekly time frame, right? And that was a red flag. And then this bearish engulfing was also another red flag, and why I think that it's going to continue to push downward. Right now on the weekly time frame, we are above the VWAP. If we break that VWAP on the week time frame, you can expect to see Ethereum break below 1,800 for sure. And we'll probably see a 1,200 and then some consolidation, and then probably move back down to the 4,400 price level. I don't think that we'll get to that price level. I think we'll stay around 1,200, and then Bitcoin will start to pick back up once the accumulation phase, and then we'll probably go up. What I see more respectively happening is the 1,200 Ethereum if we go below the VWAP, right? So let's go down into the daily time frame so that way we can see what really is happening right now. So right now in the daily time frame, we have Ethereum price action below the 100 MA. Again, we're testing that VWAP in the daily time frame. RSI is pretty neutral. Volume has come down on the daily time frame. So that's a big red flag, right? So if volume starts, remember when I said earlier, volume drops significantly, price will too, because there's no buyers, there's no sellers. In the MACD, we're showing a downtrend. So if we break that VWAP, guys, I potentially see it reaching 1,200, if not for sure in the 1,800. But if it breaks VWAP, I can see it at the 1,200. So let's move to BNB. And again, what I'm looking at, if it breaks that VWAP, I'm looking at price action, because price action really tells me what's happening with the buyers and the sellers and who's buying and who's not, versus these indicators. They're lagging indicators, but they're giving me a broader perspective and confirming my price action. So let's move over to BNB. BNB is the 4th largest cryptocurrency, right? It's an altcoin. So right now let's move over to the monthly time frame. So BNB 50, below 50 on the RSI, so it could go either way. We're on an uptrend. We're showing it come back down on the MACD though. We have significant volume loss on BNB, sorry. So this is a big red flag because again, if there's no volume, we can see that price action will follow soon, right? Below the 50, very low volume. We have huge support at the $7. Yeah, I don't think we'll see $7. Maybe after Bitcoin tanks or the weekly time frame. Spinning top. Usually spinning tops mark the top of the market. Now we have to have like price action continue to show us that it's going to go back down, but usually they mark us so a spinning top, and then we had a bearish engulfing, and then a huge downward candle, right? That was a big red flag. Volume went down significantly, so that's probably another reason. On the weekly time frame, again, we're below the RSI. MACD is starting to come back down. Let's go down to the daily time frame and see price action, right? So we're below the 100 MA on the day time frame, and we're gonna be testing the VWAP soon. If we test that VWAP, I can see we're gonna push downward for sure, and that's gonna be around the 260 price level. So I can see BNB reaching 268, and it's gonna tell us if it's either gonna reject off the VWAP or we're gonna break below it. If we break below it, I don't think we'll go. If we go to the 35, it's probably after Bitcoin dumps, and yeah, so I think we'll test the 265. This is a great example, guys. This is really not showing me a clear picture of what BNB is doing right now. So for me, I wouldn't be jumping into BNB long term. If I was going to do maybe day trading, then I would be inside the markets. But this is where really discipline comes in. And if your system doesn't tell you or doesn't give you a clear picture, you need to be away from the markets, right? Too many investors get into the markets and just want to trade every single day, every single hour, and make money, and their systems aren't giving them a clear picture. So they're just shooting from the hip in a sense. So we got to be more disciplined investors. And really, if your system isn't showing you a clear picture, just stay away from the markets. That's the best advice that I can give you guys. The best investors, the best traders out there only trade when their systems give them a clear picture. They're disciplined in a sense where they're not trading every single day. They're not even trading every single week, right? They're trading when their system shows them there is an opportunity of a favorable outcome, right? So right now, I don't know where BNB is going to go. We're underneath the 100 MA. We're coming up to the VWAP at 250. The next major support level would be 47. So if it breaks 260, this is telling me that our next major support level is going to be around 40 bucks for BNB. And now that would be a steal. And if it gets down to $40, even $78, I'll definitely be accumulating some BNB. But again, as investors, for myself at least, and for my students and for the people that I talk to, we're value investors. Do we see this cryptocurrency, do we see this company lasting 10, 15 years? If so, we need to be buying aggressively on the buying opportunities. But Bitcoin's a huge company. It's a huge exchange. Yeah, that's what we see right now in BNB. Let's go down to ADA. So ADA doesn't look that bad. We have increased volume, sustained volume. Right now we're still in this month, so we haven't closed off yet. We have 11 days, 5 hours to go. So we'll see how this month plays out. We have increased volume for ADA, so that looks good. We're above the 50 on the RSI, so that looks good, right? Here's the thing with ADA, guys. There's so much research, so much studies done going into ADA that most of the investors that are investing in ADA are confident investors, and they're gonna hold through the storms, right? These are investors that can see the projects that ADA, the timeline that they're meeting. Every single time that they put out a timeline, to the best of my knowledge, they've met that timeline, right? So you're building confidence with these investors. So we're above the 50 right now. The next major support, we have pretty good support at the $1 to $1.15 price range, even 120. But if it breaks that support, we're probably seeing a 33-cent ADA. I don't think that we'll get to that, but who knows, right? So 33 and then the 10-cent ADA. But right now, we're showing above a 50, right, on the RSI. It's following a good channel, and we have a support level at $1 to $1.15, $1.20. So let's move down to the weekly time frame and get some more detail. We do have a bearish engulfing. We weren't ready for a $2.40 ADA. We saw it drop significantly. This bearish engulfing candle moved down from, in a week, it moved down from 220 back down to 130, right? Even below before it got rejected back up. A lot of people sold. So this is what happens is when we have such a huge, strong rejection, a lot of people sell because they get scared, right? It broke the $1 support level and they think that it's going to continue, and they sell off at 90 cents, $1, and they lose profits. We have to see what these major candles are telling us before we can make a decision, right? So we had a strong rejection back up and it closed at the 140 price range for ADA. So let's move down to the daily time frame and get a better idea, right? So it's still following this channel. We're at the 100 MA. We're gonna see what ADA is gonna do. We do have decreased volume on this. We're at the 50 RSI. So the market is undecided right now. On the MACD, we did break below that 0 mark, so it shows us on a downtrend, and that confirms it with the decreased volume. So if we break this channel, we can possibly see $1 ADA to $1.15 ADA, right? This is a huge support. If we break the support, then we can see a 35-cent ADA. But right now we're seeing what ADA is going to do on the daily time frame. So we're gonna wait to see what price action tells us if we're gonna break below this channel and reach $1 ADA. Right now, those are the top 4 cryptocurrencies out there. So a lot of them are in red. ADA is the only one that's holding on to barely, from what I see, as showing good signs of buying not even buying opportunities. We have to see what ADA decides to do because we're at a support level right now for ADA. So let's jump over to Bitcoin market cap and the ETH market cap real quick, right? So right now we have on the daily time frame, we are at a huge support level right now for Bitcoin, the market cap. We have a lot of buyers around this price point. We do show MACD on a downtrend, but we did have this run up right here. We're still below the 50 RSI, so it doesn't look too bad. It doesn't look too good for Bitcoin right now. That's why I think that it's going to continue to push down. The RSI and the MACD show us on a downtrend. We're still below the 100. We're still below the VWAP. So I do think that we will continue to push down to a 200 billion market cap for BTC if that happens. Obviously, a lot of these old coins are going to follow. We do have some support level at the 200 billion for ETH. It broke below the 100 moving average. We're going to see what it does on this VWAP support. We're at a 50 RSI, which is neutral, and we're on a downtrend MACD. So really, we're undecisive right now for ETH. We want to see what price action is going to tell us. If it's going to break under the VWAP, then we're going to see price move back down to 218 billion for ETH, possibly into the 154 billion for ETH. So that wraps up this video, guys. This is the overall market video of what's happening in cryptocurrency. So it's a little bit longer video, but I wanted to break down what I'm seeing right now and why I haven't really been every single day looking at the charts and making videos, guys, because we're really at a point where the market is deciding if we're going to continue to push down or if we're going to go back up. I do think that we're going to continue to push back down. Now, that's my own opinion. We'll see if that plays out. Again, we're looking at price action to see if my speculation is correct. That wraps it up. So guys, thank you for sticking tuned and watching this video to the end. If you've watched this video and you gained some good information from it and some new insights and a new perspective, smash that like button, the subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next video.